Hello everyone, it's Half of Jojo back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about something different. We're going to be talking about some kind of fat acceptance, body positivity, yes, kind of content. And I've already did a lot of what I eat in a day and stuff like that, so today we're just going to be covering people talking about how it's perfectly fine to be fat and stuff like that, and how it's healthy, and you can't tell someone's health by their body size, the usual kind of rhetoric you hear online and stuff like that. I'm going to be taking a look at a few videos like that today, and we're going to be talking about my opinions on it and what I think is right and wrong, and whether I agree or disagree, etc. etc. So, without any further ado, we're going to get right into it. As per usual, though, don't be a dick to anyone in the comments, don't harass them, don't do anything shitty. I'm gonna get right into a video here. I've got one lined up for us. We've got this one here. So I think it's got copyrighted music, so I'm just gonna mute it. But fat people do not owe you thinness. Fat people do not owe you weight loss. Health is not determined by body size. Body diversity is a thing. We are not all meant to be thin / small. You see, I have a bit of a problem with thoughts like this because whilst I do agree, you don't owe anyone thinness, you don't owe anyone weight loss, you don't owe anyone anything, if we're being honest. But this whole health is not determined by body size, not true. If someone's 500-600 pounds or like 300 plus kilos or whatever the fuck, yeah, they're not gonna be healthy, are they? Let's be honest. Body diversity is a thing. True, body diversity is a thing. But if you're like a 5 foot woman or something and you're like fucking 300 pounds, that is not healthy. And this whole not everyone's supposed to be thin, small, there's such things like a default state. You're not born morbidly obese, are you? You just kind of grow into it as a habit as you grow older. A lot of people when they were kids were normal weight, but then as they started getting older they started eating more and they got bigger. That's generally how it works. It's not that not everyone can be thin or can be small. Everyone's capable of being thin or small. It's just whether you want to or not. And by the looks of it, you don't want to. Which, whatever. I'm not trying to be thin or small either. I'm trying to be lean. I'm trying to be muscular, athletic, whatever. I'm not trying to be thin. I'm not trying to be small. But I do think it's a bit of a cope when people say, "Oh, not everyone can be," because or are meant to be, because everyone can be if they really wanted to. Okay, it's just whether you want to or not. So I'm going to have a look at some of the comments as per usual and see what other people are saying about this. And we've got one here that says, "Preach, our goal is to be healthy, not skinny." I do agree with this. I do agree. Like I said before, if you want to be skinny, fuck it, do whatever you want. But not everyone is trying to be skinny, and being skinny does not equal being healthy, and being healthy does not equal being skinny. But however, I do think a lot of these fat acceptance people and a lot of these body positivity people, for some reason, they conflate eating a lot and being big as being healthy for some reason. Like, I've seen it a few times. Like, there's like a concept of being like well fed or whatever. Like, yeah, if you're eating a lot, that means you're eating well, and you're being well fed, that means you're healthy, which is not true because you're still eating too much and you're getting overweight, and it's impacting your health in a negative way. Especially when you're younger, you don't tend to notice it. If you're in your like 20s, early 30s, you won't feel the effects of being overweight as bad. But when you become like 40, 50, 60, it starts to really destroy you on the inside. It starts to destroy your joints and everything like that. And yeah, it's just generally not a great thing, and it's not something that should be glorified 100%. Anyway, video 1, we're 1 down. I've already gone through everything that I wanted to say so far about that particular video. I do think, again, you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe anyone being healthy. You don't owe anyone being losing weight or anything like that. But I do think that people should owe themselves weight loss, if anything. You don't owe anyone shit, but you do owe yourself a good long life, I think, personally. But anyway, I'm going to get into another video hopefully find one that's just as an inch that we can pick apart, if not worse. See if we can go on a spiral. Right, I found another one. Now, this is a few months old. I've seen this one before. I've seen other people on YouTube talk about it before. It has to do with a lot of kind of before and after being overweight and losing weight and stuff like that. So we've got this one. I think a lot of people have probably seen this one by now, but let's get into it. And I can't remember a lot of it, so we're going to be going through it.
Don't get mad at me when I tell you this, but your before and after will not save you from being fat.
I mean, she's probably not wrong, because like a lot of people, they go through diets and stuff like that, and they do end up putting it on. But however, we should be encouraging people to keep it off and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, rather than saying to them, oh no, you're just going to put it back on again, so there's no point losing weight. So I half agree that yes, a lot of people probably will put it back on, but however, we shouldn't be telling people don't lose weight just because you're going to put it back on type shit.
I think the rise of Ozempic has made everyone so brazen and bold to talk about weight loss in such a fatphobic way. Listen, personally, I don't think it's my business, nor do I care what you do with your body and if you lose or you lose weight. But I think posting about it is damaging for you and for the people who are looking at it. I try to understand.
See, I can understand a little bit of nuance here. I can understand why some people, when they're on weight loss journeys and they're posting it online, why it can be somewhat damaging, especially if you get negative comments and stuff like that. But however, I think that people should be proud of how far they've come, and I think people should be able to post as many fucking pictures or videos they want of their weight loss, and I don't think it is anyone else's business or anything like that to be like, oh no, don't post that. But what if people are watching and they don't like it because they're overweight and it makes them upset? Because she basically said, oh, it's damaging to the people that are watching it or whatever. Oh, what if there's someone who's basically, what I'm getting from it is she's saying, oh, what if someone who's obese watches it and they get upset because it triggers them because they get fucking, oh, I can't lose weight and I've tried everything and it makes me upset and everything, blah blah blah. But to be honest, it is not up to the poster. It's not the poster's responsibility to cater to everyone watching it, okay? It is not the poster's responsibility to be like, oh, what if I upload this and someone who's obese gets really, really upset that I've lost weight and I'm posting a picture about me losing weight? I never thought of that before. Like, it's not their responsibility. They want to post what they want to post. Let them do it. That's what I say.
Understand why, and then I try to put myself in your shoes. And when I look at it from the grand scheme of things, from the big general perspective, it makes sense. Of course you want to post your before and after photos. Many see it as a notable accomplishment. So of course you're posting about your weight loss. It makes sense, right? And I don't blame you. I think that wanting to be part of this...
I mean, it's a good thing when someone's gone from being really, really overweight to being a good, healthy weight. Or, someone who was really obese has now become like a fucking bodybuilder or something. That's really impressive. It's really good and it's great for them. And, they should be proud of it, so they should post it as much as they want. The thing is, even she's agreeing with it, but I have a feeling she's going to contradict it, right?
Fitness club is something that society is pushing us all into. And then it turns to be that maybe one of the reasons that you post this is to inspire other fat people to lose weight. But then that's where you lose me, because...
Oh, okay. So you don't care that people have, are posting pictures themselves being like, oh, I've lost weight. But the minute they try and say, oh, maybe other people can get inspired to do the same thing because I've been there, I know what it's like, and hopefully I can inspire other people to lose weight alongside me. Maybe someone who lost all hope, was ridiculously overweight, and was like, I've seen this incredible person who's fucking done this amazing thing, I want to do that too. That's what you have a problem with. Nah, I just think that's kind of messed up, I'm not gonna lie. See, the thing is, that's a good thing, right? Setting yourself as like an example of someone who had it this way, who was overweight, and is saying, yo, you can do it too. everyone can do it. You know, we all can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's a great thing. That's a good positive message, and I don't see a problem with that at all. But for some reason, that's the thing she has a problem with. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think it's kind of I think it's a bit of like a selfish kind of mindset, and I do think it can come off as a bit childish. Like, oh, I don't like it, so therefore it shouldn't exist, basically. I don't like the fact that you're promoting people living a healthier lifestyle and telling people that they can do it because you've done it too. That makes me upset because I'm overweight and I don't like it when people lose weight and stuff like that. I don't know. That's what I'm getting from this so far. Let's finish it, okay? Let's power through this. We're going to be pausing this a lot, ladies and gentlemen, okay?
I thought this whole process was for you. I don't know what the point of posting it is.
Yeah,
we can see it.
That's why you post it. I'm not being funny, but yeah, it was for them. But at the same time, that's why they're posting it, because they want people to see it. They wouldn't post it if they didn't want people to see it. That's just how it works, right? Am I missing something? The reason you posted this is because you want people to see it. I don't see an issue there. So what if someone's like, oh, come on guys, we can all do it, let's make a positive change. So what? I think that's a great thing, and I think they're doing something amazing, not only for themselves, but for trying to get other people to follow suit and improve themselves as well. I think that's amazing.
We see you have gotten into a smaller body now. What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor.
What? What? Huh? No. You didn't just say that. But nah, that's wild. Nah. I don't get this mindset that some overweight people have where they think that society like is oppressing them. Do you know what? I've seen it before. This is wild to me, but I've seen it before where some overweight, like kind of fat acceptance kind of people compare their morbid obesity to like other ethnic groups or even disabilities, and they're like, oh, you see, we're oppressed just like people with disabilities. You see, being overweight is just like being black in America and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's fucking not. You can't compare the two because you did that to yourself. Someone who's disabled didn't suddenly decide one day, oh fuck it, I'm gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. Yeah. Someone who's black didn't fucking wake up like this and was like, you know what? I feel like being a bit darker today. That's not how it fucking works. But someone who's obese has actively decided, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna have an extra burger today. You see what I mean? You can't compare the two. So saying that comparing obesity to like being oppressed is fucking ridiculous because you've put it on yourself. All these negative things that come from being obese is something you've inflicted upon yourself. Now I understand maybe you've gone through something mentally that has made you spiral, stuff like that. I've been there, I've been there. But at the end of the day, it was my own responsibility, my own fault, and everything in between. Because I was the one who chose to eat all that shit. I was the one who chose to live an unhealthy life. It's my own fault. I'm not being oppressed. I'm just forcing myself into my own cage at the end of the day.
And you're okay with that. Now here's the kicker. Statistically, proven by science, not by me, so don't get mad at me, you will gain the weight back in 2 to 5 years.
Now, again, I've said this before, a lot of people do, but however, that does not mean that you should tell people, oh, there's no point losing weight then because you're just going to put it on, because I think that is an unhealthy thing to say to someone. It's just a dick move, to be honest. Say, for example, I'm just making this up, it's just like a comparison. Oh, on average, people who get promotions tend to get fired within the next 3-4 years or so. So don't go for that promotion. You might as well just stay as you are and earn fuck all money because you might get fired in about 3 years. It's like, so what? I'm going to do it anyway because it's more money, better benefits, more improvements upon my life. I don't have to stress as much. I don't have to slave away working as hard as much. I can relax a little bit because I've got a promotion, and I'm going to keep the job, and I know I'm going to keep the job because people around me are motivating me to keep the job. But however, if you said to someone, don't bother losing weight, you're going to put it all back on in a year or so anyway, then obviously that person, if they start losing weight, they're going to be like, oh gee, everyone around me's doubting me, what do I do? And it's going to fuck with their head, and it's going to make them put on the weight because it's going to be in the back of their head. You're going to be a constant reminder that, oh, you're useless, basically. I think what you're doing is just discouraging people from doing something genuinely good for them. And I don't agree with it at all. I think it is wrong. I think if someone wants to lose weight, don't tell them you got to put it back on. If someone wants to lose weight, just tell them keep it up, keep going. You're the one who's made the fucking change. You've gone through all that. You've stayed at a healthy weight. You've gotten stronger. You've done this. You've done that. That's what you have to say.
Now, we've met a lot of friends who have gotten multiple surgeries and have done things to lose weight. And right. I met them years ago, and now they're back to their original weight, or some of them are probably...
But that's the thing. Having a surgery and making a lifestyle change is not the same thing. Because this is very true. It's very common with a lot of people who even take GLP-1s and stuff like that, who have surgery and stuff like that. A lot of people will go on these surgeries, these medications. They won't make a positive lifestyle change. They will stay the same. They will eat the same. They won't move more than they were before. Stuff like that. They won't make the necessary lifestyle change. They'll have a temporary change that makes them lose weight initially, but then the minute they come off of the GLP-1s or stuff like that, they just go straight up because they didn't make the necessary change. They didn't use the time they had to be like, oh, okay, I can eat like this for the rest of my life. They used that time just to get temporary little bit of weight loss, whether that be for like a wedding or whatever the fuck, and they just pile it back on. Or with a lot of people with surgeries is that they immediately think, okay, so if they do surgery on me, my stomach shrinks, I'm not going to be able to eat as much, so that's going to be it, and that's going to solve all my problems, only for them to get the surgery, keep eating the way they were before, if not eating way more than what they were before, expanding their stomach back to the original size, and undoing everything the surgery has done for them, basically. It does happen, but that's because they didn't make the necessary lifestyle change. So yes, I do agree, a lot of them do end up going back because when it comes to surgeries and GLP-1s and stuff like that. But that's on them. That has nothing to do with the surgery itself. That has nothing to do with the GLP-1s themselves. That has nothing to do with weight loss in general in itself, and everything to do with them not making the necessary change that they should have made during that time when they had it.
A little bit even bigger than they were before. Now you find yourself being back into the same body that you hated before. The one that you were claiming was the worst version of you. And I'm not here to shame or to scold anyone. I think...
Yeah, I mean, and that makes it worse. That makes people spiral even more. Like, for example, with me, I was at my biggest at 152 kilograms. Or I'm pretty sure I was even more than that at one point. I was nearly 160 at one point. Before I was 150, 160-ish kilograms, I was probably at most like 120, 130 maybe. But then I lost a little bit of weight during lockdown and stuff like that. And even before lockdown, when I was like 18, I used to walk everywhere. I used to not eat as much and things like that. I lost a lot of weight. Then I piled it back on even higher than I was before. And then I lost weight during lockdown, and then I piled it on even worse than I was before. I have done that. I can tell you, I've done that. And I hated myself even more for it, and everything like that. It's not good. It is not fun. It does make you feel a lot worse about yourself when you go back to where you were before, if not worse than what you were before. And to be honest, I think it's completely fine to be a bit upset about that, because you have worked hard, you lost weight, only to put it back on. And I do think that instead of telling people, oh, it's completely fine to put it back on, it's, oh, you should maybe don't try and lose weight. Maybe we should be a bit like, look, you did so well before. You were at a good weight. You lost it in a good way. Blah blah blah. Instead of sitting here being like, fuck it, I've done worse than what I originally was, so I'm just gonna let myself spiral. Just, you know, tell yourself or tell the person who's going through that, this isn't the end. You've done it before, you can easily do it again. I'm going to help you through it, or if you're talking to yourself, I'm going to help myself through it, kind of thing, you know. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on other people or whatever. Don't immediately just be like, oh, you know, it's okay. Just let yourself be fat. You know, it saves you the problem of losing weight and, you know, you're going to put it back on anyway, that type of thing. I don't agree with it.
That it's a reasonable thing to want to be part of this thinness club because society has.
But again, like I said before, it's not about being thin. It's just about being healthier and being, you know, not overweight.
Made this the ideal place to be. We all think that thinness.
I mean, yeah, it is the ideal place to be. I don't think there's anything wrong or inherently fat phobic or anything like that to say that, yeah, being thin is ideal. And it's not because society has forced us into thinking this, that we've been psyoped into thinking that being healthy is good, being fat is bad because, oh, the government and corporations and blah blah blah, like MK Ultra. No, it's nothing to do with that and everything to do with the fact that, yeah, for thousands of years, our ancestors have thrived upon not being overweight. Because if they were overweight, they couldn't go out and hunt. If they were overweight, they couldn't do this and that. For example, even now, you're traveling around. If you're really, really, really morbidly obese and you try and get on a plane, that shit is like impossible. Even walking through the aisles and everything. I know you're going to say, oh, but you should make the aisles wider, you should make the plane bigger, you should make the seats bigger, but I don't agree. I don't think it's up for society to change around you. I think it's up for you to make a positive change, to lose the weight, to get into a normal size that your average person can do. You know, if you can't get into an airplane seat, that's no one else's fault but your own. But a good majority of the world can fit into an average airplane seat. My point is, we shouldn't change society because someone has eaten themselves into being obese. Let's be honest. That's the way I see it personally. Like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. That's just how it is.
Is where we're going to achieve self-love and careers and friendships and love,
right.
Partners. And
what does that
of course we all believe that, you know, it's the long going myth of what thinness will bring to you. But
so, I mean, let's be honest, on average, you are most likely to get more attention from the people that you're attracted to if you are like a normal weight, right? Like, for example, if I'm being honest, I didn't get any attention from most people when I was at my biggest. No one complimented me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not like sitting here being like, oh, everyone thinks I'm so fucking attractive, because they don't. But what I'm trying to say is I've had a bit more success with attracting people now that I've lost weight, now that I'm not as obese and stuff like that. I don't think that is necessarily a wrong thing to say. It is generally true that you are more desirable when you look just at a normal weight, or if you look healthy, or you're muscular and stuff like that. It's just the way it is. I know you're going to say, oh, but society, fucking, I hate society because it makes us think that being fat is ugly and being thin is pretty and stuff like that. It's like, you can't help what people are attracted to. Most of the world is attracted to normal sized people, and you can't change that. It's just called a preference. Like, there are so many people out there who love fat people, right? There's a whole thing about it, right? there's a whole subsect of people who love people like that, but the majority of people don't. The majority of people want someone healthy, someone reasonable, someone they can, you know, not being funny, someone who can keep up with them physically and stuff like that when they're going out, when they're walking around. You know, say for example you want to go for a hike or you want to go for a run. I don't know, you want to go to the gym together, stuff like that. You want to go for a bike ride. Oh, but fat people can do all that too. Yeah, but you can't keep up with someone who's fitter, can you?
I think it's more important for you to be at peace with yourself. You're a member of the Think Club now, but remember that your membership can be revoked at any moment, and it'll push you back to the end of the line where you began.
Again,
and the vicious cycle.
She's kind of repeating the mindset about how 98% of people who lose weight put it all back on, and you shouldn't lose weight because you're just going to go back and it's going to be a vicious cycle, blah blah blah. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Like it's like that song says, que sera sera. What will be will be. You know, let people find out. The future's not ours to see and everything like that. Don't tell people I just get put it all back on anyway, because they might not. You never know, they might be the person that keeps it off. Oh, but according to statistics, they won't fuck statistics. I don't give a shit. And if they end up spiraling, instead of being like, haha, I told you so, just be like, okay, fuck it, let's help you get back to what you were before. You've done it before, you can do it again. I don't agree with this mindset. I think it's very wrong. I think it's
It continues.
a bit bitter.
I know this is a heavy topic, but I have spoken a lot more about this in depth in an essay on my Substack.
I ain't reading all that. But anyway, I think that covers the whole video. The rest of it's just kind of promoting her blog or whatever. But yeah, I completely disagree with a good 90% of all that. I'm just going to look at a few comments. This one here, like one of the top comments, I don't know, I don't agree with this take. People taking care of themselves and choosing to improve themselves isn't a bad thing or something to avoid posting. Absolutely. Like, so what if someone wants to post the fact that they've lost so much weight? So what if someone's lost weight to begin with? I don't think it's very conducive to be the kind of person who's like, oh no, look at this person, they've lost weight, I bet they're going to put it all back on in a year. It just screams kind of jealousy to me. It does. It screams jealousy to me. It just kind of reminds me of the people who think that, oh, if you lose weight, you lose all your personality kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but so many people who are overweight for some reason think that the minute you lose weight, you lose personality. It's like, no, not really. I think at the end of the day, you're probably the one without personality because all you do is think about eating all day. I'm just saying, if you're going to throw shade at me, I'm throwing shade at you back at the end of the day. But nah. Yeah, 100% I agree with this comment. It is kind of a bit bitter to be like, oh, it's really bad to show that, because what if someone who's overweight gets upset about it and you're just going to put it on anyway? No, that's not right. I worked hard to get where I am. No surgeries, no jabs, blood, sweat and tears. I will share my progress for myself to prevent me from going backwards. 100%. Same here. I did everything myself without any surgeries. I did everything myself without any GLP-1s, anything like that. I went hard with it. I've done all the dieting myself. I've done all calorie tracking, all the protein tracking, all the macro tracking, all the exercise, everything myself. I haven't had a personal trainer. I haven't had a dietitian. I haven't had a coach. I haven't had anything like that. I just absolutely went in one day, just decided I've had enough. I want to make a change. I've worked hard for where I am so far. A lot of other people have worked hard for where they are so far. So yeah, I'm going to share it. That's why I started posting a lot of shorts, because I wanted to do a weight loss journey. I wanted to do a health journey. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing a lot of my kind of physique and a lot of my weight loss stuff because I'm damn proud of it. And like this person said, I did it all myself. They did it all themselves. It's something to be proud of. It really is. You know, I don't think it's anything to turn your nose at. Oh, and this comment here, every study long-term done on diet shows you gain back more than you lost initially. They're a scam, and science knows this. Again, like I said before, I actually don't disagree, because a lot of people are going for temporary diets. A lot of people are going for like Weight Watchers, keto, things like that. They're not making necessary lifestyle changes. They're going for like a year long or a 6 month long, however many long, temporary diet. They're not making lifestyle changes. And the minute they've lost the weight, they're like, oh, I can get off this diet now, or pizza, you know, shit like that. I've done that, you know, a lot of people have done that. Yeah, so I agree. I do completely agree with that. A lot of diets are a scam. And instead of thinking about going on diets, think about making a lifestyle change instead. Think about, instead of, I'm going to go on Weight Watchers, I'm going to go on keto. Think about, okay, so I'm going to try and incorporate more protein. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and be a bit more active. I'm going to make this into a long-term thing. I'm going to be eating foods like this for the rest of my life. I'm going to focus on high protein. I'm going to focus on eating more vegetables. And I'm going to incorporate that in every meal. Instead of going all in with the rice, I'm going to reduce the amount of rice and put more chicken on my plate. You know, stuff like that. Simple, small changes which can make a massive, massive difference in the long run. These comments are proving you right. We are forced to be skinny. And the ones saying they did it for themselves are lying to themselves. People hate fat people. That's why they lost weight. So, according to you, you're forced to be skinny, which no, we're not. Not everyone wants to be skinny. Not everyone has to be skinny. It's just about not being overweight. That's all it is. And apparently they're lying to themselves because they said they did it for themselves. Not necessarily, because again, being fat is not a good thing. It's unhealthy. It can cause so many issues later on in life and everything like that. And even early on in life, depending on how big you are. That's why so many like mukbangers and stuff like that have in like their 20s or 30s, because it's just not good for you. So yeah, it's not like they're doing it for themselves, because they want to live longer and healthier. And so what if they're posting it online? They can still do it for themselves and do it to show other people. They can do both. Both can exist. People hate fat people, that's why they lost weight. Okay, not everyone hates fat people. Some people probably do, but not everyone does. And you know what? If they do, and that's why they lost weight, who cares? I don't care. People have their own opinions at the end of the day. Maybe you shouldn't hate anyone because they're fat. Maybe you shouldn't hate people because of the way they look. I agree, it's wrong, but I don't agree that that's why they lost weight. They didn't lose weight because they hate fat people. They lost weight because they hate the fact that they're fat. Because being fat isn't good. And it's not only just about a lot of their internal health, it's also a mental health thing as well. It really fucks you up on the inside. It's not only just like insecurity. There's a lot of things that come with it, a lot of brain fog, stuff like that. A lot of mental health issues. Being fat can make you depressed, and etc. It's just not good. So yeah, I disagree with a lot of that on there. I don't think it's right to tell people that they can't change their body shape, that they can't, that they can put it all back on once they've lost weight. I don't think it's right to tell people they're not allowed to show off their hard work and the hard graft they've put in to get the body that they want and to get the health that they want, and etc. I genuinely think that people should be proud of how far they've come when it comes to things like weight loss. But now I don't agree with kind of accepting being in like in a bad way, if you get what I mean. Like, for example, I don't think it should be glorified that people should be allowed to spiral out of control. But nah, I don't agree that it's bad to be talking about losing weight or to be showing off progress, weight loss and everything like that. And in fact, I think it's inherently positive, and it gets a whole lot more people who are obese to at least try. And if you fail, then so be it. You can just get back up and try again. Try it differently this time. That's what I've done so many times. I have failed so many times at losing weight. I have failed so many times at eating better and things like that. But now I've got it down pat, you know. Now I'm fine, you know. I've managed to do it. And if I can do it, someone who's failed over and over and over again, then anyone can. Like I said, don't harass these people. I disagree with them. I think they're wrong, but don't harass them, because at the end of the day, that's not what this is about. This is about a message. Do you know what? I think that will be it for the videos today. I've kind of rambled a lot. Hopefully I can cut this down, because like the amount of talking I've done about like one single video has been insane, but I feel like it is a necessary discussion, and hopefully some people agree with me. Again, I'm not trying to be horrible to these people. I'm not trying to be completely a dick, but when people say something I disagree with, or that I think is kind of wrong, I am not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to say what I'm feeling, and I'm going to tell people how it is. Like, that's just the way it is at the end of the day. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. If you agree with me, cool. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do me. I'm going to say what I want. You're free to disagree or agree however you want. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think about this kind of subject matter and things like that. And maybe leave like a banana or something in the comments if you watched it all the way through, just so I know, you know. But anyway, I really appreciate you for watching this. I'll see you later. See you in the next one. Probably going to be doing another what I eat in a day is the next one. So yeah, see you later. Take care of yourselves.